Hold on. My niece Ashley, who very much posted her videos on social media with some accusations about her family.
This was not the first time of me telling this story. This has been years. It started me telling this story when my sister passed away. So this is like years of me getting to this point, to this layer. I always stand true by what I said. I always stand true by what happened. And I don't know if there was a right or wrong way, the way I handled it. I don't think that there was. And with what I speak with my therapist with, there was no right or wrong way to tell the story. I just had to tell the story.
All right, let's talk about this, because the more you really sit with it, the uglier and more uncomfortable it becomes. This isn't just another petty family disagreement. This is one of those situations where lines were crossed, trust was shattered, and silence protected the wrong people for far too long. And now, Tamar is finally saying what she says she's been holding back for years. Not whispering, not hinting, but fully exposing it.
And it may not be your family, and that is totally okay. I am an example of that. You may not get support from your family, and that is totally fine. You still have the right to use your voice. You still have the right to talk. You still have the right to say how you feel. The world will try to silence you. People will try to silence you. But the world needs your voice and not your silence.
For the longest time, fans have watched the Braxton sisters argue, fall out, make up, then fall apart all over again. On the surface, it looked like typical reality TV drama. Sisters fighting, egos clashing, old wounds reopening on camera. But what nobody really understood back then was that some of this pain wasn't about music, money, or fame. It was personal, deeply personal. And according to Tamar, it all traces back to one shocking betrayal involving Towanda and Michael Jr. And before you roll your eyes and think, here we go again, more Braxton mess, just stay with me. Because once you hear how Tamar tells it, once you understand the timing, the secrecy, and the emotional damage left behind, this stops feeling like gossip and starts feeling like something much darker.
And he found someone else and he married my stepmom. But it was not a good relationship. He was physically abusive to her.
Okay.
And then she was physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive to my sister and I.
Now, to understand why this hurts the way it does, you have to understand Tamar's position in this family. Tamar has always been the outspoken one, the loud one, the emotional one, the sister who feels everything deeply and reacts in real time. For years, that made her the easy target. Whenever something went wrong, Tamar was labeled dramatic, unstable, or difficult. Her feelings were often dismissed as overreactions, even when she was clearly hurting. Meanwhile, Towanda played a very different role. She was often seen as the quieter sister, the peacemaker, the one who stayed in the background and avoided confrontation. Fans viewed her as safe, loyal, predictable, someone you wouldn't expect to be at the center of a major betrayal. And that's exactly why Tamar says what happened cut so deep.
To everyone who's been supporting me, who's been commenting, who's been sharing, who's been telling me stories and writing to me and just being so supportive. I appreciate you so much, way more than you know. It got to be a little bit, and that's to be expected for those of you who just think that I'm just chaos for this. And I did want to come back on and just say that I really hope that this prompted you to have a conversation with your own family and that you decided to give your family or your friends or whoever it is a safe space to be able to talk about this in these conversations, because we normally, typically, and I'm talking about from the African American community, we really decide to sweep these things under the rug, and we have to stop doing that, and we have to have these conversations, and we have to talk about these things in these situations. As much as sometimes I feel like it was negative, it was positive in the sense that we actually had these conversations. So that I'm really grateful for. And another thing that I want to say is that telling your story after being silenced is not an easy task. You know, I wish that I could just beautifully talk about the situation and it makes sense and everything, you know, like every piece is put together. It's not how it works. When you've been silenced and when you start telling your story, it's like peeling an onion, you know? Sometimes the first time you tell the story, it's messy, pieces aren't together, but you're finally using that part of your voice to start speaking. And then you peel the next layer off and it gets easier to talk about. So I wanted to showcase that in itself so that whoever is going through what I'm going through, whoever's been silenced, but they're learning to use your voice, you can understand too that it's not a journey that's just an easy journey. It's something that you have to work on and work towards. And the more you tell your story, the better you get to tell the story. I don't even know if I want to get into it all again, just because there's a lot of things that go into deciding to tell your story. When you decide to tell your story, it's going to affect somebody else, and someone else can feel hurt and someone else can feel betrayed, and it can lead to so many things. But for me, I am so happy. I feel freer. My voice feels easier. My throat feels lighter. I don't know. I just feel like I don't have to carry this anymore because A, it was never mine to carry in the first place. But I just feel so much lighter. I just feel free, and I'm proud of myself actually for what I've done, because it was not easy. It's not easy to do it, but it's also not easy to do it when your family is who they are with the platforms that they have, and then putting it on the TV show. And I also want to commend my own family for doing that as well, because we are really showing you like what is real life. This is real life. Families go through things. It's ups, it's downs. It's not always easy. It's not always a trajectory to the moon or at an incline of greatness. You have your ups and you have your downs. And so I also appreciate them for even putting it on the show. And as much as a bad rap that it's getting, I really hope, and I've seen it, that we're having these conversations about this topic. It's so important. This was not the first time of me telling this story. This has been years. It started me telling this story when my sister passed away. So this is like years of me getting to this point, to this layer. I always stand true by what I said. I always stand true by what happened. And I don't know if there was a right or wrong way, the way I handled it. I don't think that there was. And with what I speak with my therapist with, there was no right or wrong way to tell the story. I just had to tell the story. And I knew that I was going to get repercussions, and I knew that I was going to get backlash, and I knew that I wasn't always going to be supported, but it wasn't about anybody else. It was all about me. And now there's this part of me that's just prepare my body for kids, that I just get to pass on a legacy to my kids where I'm not holding on to that anymore. It's not inside of me. It doesn't live within me. And I always want my kids to have something better than what I had. Truly, I've forgiven everybody in this situation. It's something that for me is in the past. I believe that a lot of people were hurt. I'm not the only victim in this situation. But I just really hope that if you're a mom, if you're an aunt, if you're a woman, that you can make the choice to just listen to the other person, or the child actually in this situation, because it was a child, that you're able to sit with the child, give them a safe space to talk, listen to them, and make a judgment of how to handle the situation that gives the child safety. I didn't have safety within my family or within my home. I didn't have I wasn't safe. I was not safe. I don't ever want another woman to feel like that, especially if you're a kid and something happened to you that you didn't ask for and you've just had to deal with it. And I think that anybody who has been silenced, who has had something happen to them, I just hope that my story shows you that it's not always easy, but I still hope that you find the courage to do it, even though sometimes it's not going to go how you plan it, even though people are not always going to support you. You still have to tell your story. And everybody's story is worthy and deserving of being heard. Every single person's story is worthy to be heard. So I just hope that I'm a real example of what happens in any family. Use me as an example of like, what's the worst that could happen? Because it wasn't even that bad, but use me as an example for you if you need to tell your story. Use me. I did this in public so that you could see how it is, so that you can see the journey, you can see my journey. People are gonna have their opinions. People are gonna say what they're gonna say. You're not always gonna get the support from the people that you need. You're not always gonna get the support from the people that you think you need, but you are going to have support from somebody in the world. And it may not be your family, and that is totally okay. I am an example of that. You may not get support from your family, and that is totally fine. You still have the right to use your voice. You still have the right to talk. You still have the right to say how you feel. The world will try to silence you. People will try to silence you, but the world needs your voice and not your silence. And I will stand by that till the day that I die. So thank you all so much for being here with me, being on this journey with me, watching it. Thanks for the judgment. Thanks for the criticism. Thanks for the people that supported me. Thanks for the people that said, I understand you. Be kind to yourselves. And please, if you have not already, phone family and ask them about this topic, about this situation, about this, please, I encourage you to do so. And if someone says, yes, this has happened to me and I didn't tell you, please give them a safe space. Please allow people.
Michael Jr. wasn't just some random man in Tamar's life. He represented trust, vulnerability, and a period where Tamar was already emotionally exposed.
Right. And did you have contact with mum, like after mum had gone?
No. Interesting enough, I never had contact with her. She also has 3 kids.
Wow.
So she moved on.
Yeah.
But I would sometimes see her sister and her mom and her dad.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I had a girl cousin, but it was always up and down. It was always some sort of a roller coaster. But after that, I never seen her ever again.
Wow. So was it like you sort of like, I know she's out there and there, it kind of through the grapevine, you might hear something like, oh, she's out there doing this, that, and the other, but she's just not reaching out to you.
No, not reaching out at all. And no one talked about it either.
Okay.
And she had asked her family, like her mom, her dad, her family, not to talk about us. So we did not exist.
Wow.
No. And so with my stepmom, it was a really interesting life because for me, I was super excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a new mom, and she put her name on our papers and things that.
Okay.
And so there was moments that were great, and I have 2 half brothers, so love them. Everything is awesome, but how do you deal with physical, mental, emotional abuse? I would tell my dad, hey, I'm being abused.
Mm-hmm.
And not, like I wet the bed and I had to lick it up. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I was slapped so hard down the stairs. Or maybe I was punched in my face. Or maybe she held my ear and decided to scream in it for the next 2 minutes. I mean, it kind of was up and down.
Right.
And if I told my dad, then he would come home. He's a nurse.
Right.
So he worked the day shift. He would come home, and at night it was so traumatic to listen to them physically beating each other in the next room. So what do you do?
Mm.
Do you tell and risk watching someone else get beat? No fun.
Yeah.
And then having the aftermath of it turned onto you. So it's just a never-ending circle.
In terms of the things that caused animosity between the two of them, was that related to the way in which she was treating you and your sister? Or was that their own issues that were separate to the rest of the family dynamics?
It was both.
Okay.
It was both. So there would be marital issues that didn't have anything to do with us. But then I don't know why my stepmom, she referred to my sister and I as the N-word.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were the N-word, and we were also referred to as she, they, or them. That was like our names.
Yeah.
And so there was always something that she, they, or them did that perhaps she didn't care for.
Okay.
And then that's how it would transfer.
And what did that do? So you had stepbrothers. Did they come with her? Were they part of the package, or did they come along later?
They came along later.
Okay.
So my sister is 3 years younger than I am. My oldest younger brother is 4 years. And then after that, it's 8 years.
Okay.
So they came after. And it's unfortunate that even now we don't have a relationship, because you were just pit against each other.
Yeah.
So the household was like all for one and one for all. You better guard up.
Wow.
And it's not really healthy.
No, definitely not. No. You know, I was wondering, like, what would the effects of those circumstances be on the younger brothers? Because it would be very difficult for them to, I guess, develop respect towards you and your sister.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't see eye to eye, because the way they see life is very different than the way I've seen it. And so for them, it's hard, which is understandable.
Yeah.
When I'm speaking these things about their mother, these are quite harsh accusations.
Of course.
That I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if you were not there to grasp what was happening, then perhaps you'd think and be like, I think this is a little far-fetched.
Yes.
And that was something that was really hard for me, because I come from this family. My stepmom is great at just being the PTA mom. You know, she really was there for us in times of school. And same with my dad. My dad is a nurse. He's distinguished. So even trying to go to school to talk to the counselor about it, it was always like, are you lying?
Yeah. It, from the outside looking in,
right,
it looked like a nice shiny family.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when did you ever have anyone that kind of stepped in and advocated for you, or spoke up for you, or, you know, a point at which you shared this with someone who took it more seriously?
There were some family members that tried their best.
Okay.
Grandma, for instance, and a few of my aunts to come in and step in. But, you know, I'm never angry or upset with them. They tried their best. It was the moment where my dad would come back and say, like, hey guys, this is her house too. So they would come up to our house and they would confront my stepmom and be like, what is happening here? Yeah. And when my father then would in return call and say, hey, this is her house, don't show up here this way.
Right.
How does that work? You know? So I had to learn very quickly that it was just me, myself, and my sister. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, I didn't see that my dad was a part of the picture of the problem.
Yeah.
I just thought it was my stepmom.
Uh-huh.
You know, to have someone even say to you, the reason why your mom left is because of you. And, you know, that was like her fuel as to why we were such bad kids. Yeah. So then you just take that on as an adult, and taking that on and not getting the mental health that you need really shapes you into someone who's not really able to function.
Yeah. And you're the oldest, right? You had a younger sister. Do you think that caused you to take this on in a different way?
For sure. You know, and I can remember when all of my siblings at one point were hiding underneath of my bed.
Yeah.
You have so much responsibility because you just want them to be safe. I mean, it's very traumatic listening to your parents physically hit each other or anything.
Yeah.
But then there's also that weird sense in our family of where one for all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was really, really hard. But my sister was my best friend through it all.
Relationships are complicated enough on their own, but when family gets involved, especially in secretive and inappropriate ways, it changes everything. Tamar says this wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't innocent flirting. It wasn't exaggerated for TV. According to her, Towanda knew exactly what she was doing. Here's where the story starts to unravel. Tamar claims there were signs early on, subtle things that didn't make sense at the time, awkward energy, conversations that would suddenly stop when she walked into the room, looks exchanged that felt off, but were easy to brush aside because who would suspect their own sister? That's the thing about betrayal. It rarely shows up loud at first. It creeps in quietly, disguised as coincidence. But here's the twist. Tamar says the truth didn't come out right away. It came in fragments, little pieces of information from different people at different times. Someone saying, that didn't look right. Someone else asking, did you know about this? Until eventually the picture became impossible to ignore. Towanda wasn't just crossing boundaries, she was actively pursuing Michael Jr. behind Tamar. And when Tamar confronted her, she says she didn't get honesty, she didn't get accountability, she got denial, minimization, excuses, the kind that make you question your own reality. Tamar says that hurt almost more than the act itself, because betrayal is one thing, but being gaslit by your own family, that leaves scars. What nobody expected was how long this went on. Tamar claims this wasn't a one-time mistake. It was a pattern, secret interactions, private conversations, a closeness that grew while Tamar was kept in the dark. And when it finally came to light, the family didn't rally around her the way she hoped. Instead, things got quiet, too quiet. According to Tamar, there was pressure to keep it private, to not embarrass the family, to not blow things up publicly, and once again, she was expected to swallow her pain for the sake of unity, but that silence came at a cost. Tamar says it ate away at her trust, not just in Towanda, but the entire family dynamic.
Think about that for a second. Imagine being hurt deeply by someone you grew up with, someone you shared everything with, and instead of being supported, you're told to move on, to stop bringing it up, to keep the peace. That kind of emotional suppression doesn't just disappear, it festers. Tamar says this betrayal changed how she saw Towanda forever. The sister bond she believed was unbreakable suddenly felt conditional. And worse, it made her question how many other moments in her life were manipulated behind the scenes. Who was really on her side? Who was just playing a role? The emotional impact of this didn't stay contained to that one situation. Tamar admits it bled into her relationships, her self-esteem, and her mental health. Trust became harder. Vulnerability felt dangerous. Even love felt risky when the people closest to you proved they were capable of crossing lines without remorse. And let's be real, this also affected how she showed up on reality TV. Viewers saw the outbursts, the tears, the walking off sets, but what they didn't see was the unresolved trauma fueling those reactions. Tamar wasn't just being dramatic, she was reacting to years of unspoken pain. What makes this even more painful is that Tamar says she didn't want to expose this. She didn't wake up one day eager to air out family secrets. She says she stayed quiet for a long time, hoping accountability would come privately, hoping Towanda would take responsibility, hoping healing could happen behind closed doors. But it never did. So when Tamar finally spoke up, it wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming her voice, about refusing to keep protecting people who never protected her. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. Tamar isn't just exposing Towanda, she's exposing a family culture that prioritized image over honesty. The fallout has been heavy, relationships strained even further, lines drawn, and a lot of uncomfortable conversations forced into the open. But Tamar says she's at peace with it now, because carrying the truth in silence was destroying her from the inside. And here's the part that really sticks with you. Tamar says betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from the people who know your weaknesses best, the ones who smile in your face while crossing you behind your back. And when that happens, you have a choice: stay silent and suffer, or speak your truth and face the consequences. Tamar chose to speak. Whether people believe her or not, whether the family ever fully heals or not, one thing is clear: the mask has slipped, and the story people thought they knew about the Braxton sisters is far more complicated than it ever appeared on TV. Because at the end of the day, fame fades, shows end, cameras stop rolling, but betrayal within a family, that echoes for a lifetime, and Tamar is done pretending it didn't happen.